So hi, welcome to my video on how to make a mine in Farming Simulator. I'm doing this in FS22, but given FS25, if it has the same mods, it'll work just the same. So I've been seeing a lot of people making videos on mining in Farm Sim, and I really wanted to try it. So I've played some maps that had mines on them, and I didn't really care for them. It was always a long, long, slow ride up to the top to dump your load, and I didn't really care for that. So I thought, what can I do to make my own mine? And with all the mods that I've acquired over time, I figured out how to make it. Now, first thing I had to figure out is where do I want to make my mine? And there's a lot of places that you could do it. I chose Forgotten Lands. I like the layout of it. It's got it's good for doing like start from scratch, which I really enjoy doing. And this is a good map for a mine. So I decided to use this one. Now, I've got a lot of mods, but I'm only going to use certain ones. Now, all these mods are for PC. Some of them are for console, but if you want to do what I'm doing, you have to do it on PC because of EasyDev. So the first couple mods that I use to download that I use on these builds is the Case IH Magnum. It's got 800 horsepower tractor. It's good for when you fill the pit with stone, which I'll be talking about later. Then I use EasyDev to be able to do what I want in the game. Next one, and I got a lot of mods. Next one I use is, where are you? Free landscaping, so I don't have to pay for when I lower the land into the pit, because that would cost a lot of money. Then I use the Lizard Colossus Harvester Pack, because that has a trailer that I want. I also use Lumberjack. In case I get stuck, I just pick up my vehicle and put it anywhere I want. And then the last one that I do is paint Terraform Anywhere. I don't know if you really need it, but that's what I use. So, and whatever the map requires that you're on. So we're going to start that. And we're loaded up. And we're not going to do that. We're going to buy ourselves a vehicle. Or just use the one that they give. I'll eventually get rid of those. I just don't feel like doing it right now. So the next, what you got to figure out with your mine is where do you want to start it? Now, the area where you want to start it is going to depend on how big you want to make your mine. If you want to make it a ground level mine, you could probably do something small. If you want to do a 1 tier, 2 tier mine, you're going to have to go pretty big. So what I chose is this area just south of the shop. I'm going to buy the land. Oh my God. Wait, what? Okay. And just to be safe, I'm going to buy that land too. So the next thing I want to do is, so my mine is going to be somewhere up here, and I'm probably going to do a 3 tier, which means I'm going to have a top level, I'm going to have a mid-tier, middle level, and at the bottom was where is going to be my stone. And one other mod that I forgot to put in, which I'll end up putting in when I do the build, is the metals and gem production, because that's the one you need to be able to convert the stone to pay dirt to gold, silver, and all the other stuff, and the whole purpose of the mine. So what I'm going to do now is the mods that allow you to do stuff. So easy dev, I can set and remove all the money I want, give myself the land. But the most important is this right here, delete objects, because that will allow you to walk up to a tree and with the touch of a button, make it go away. And I will end up doing that for the entire site of the mine. But I usually do that afterward because I don't know exactly where my mine's going to be, what's going to be ground level, what's not. So what I do afterward is I activate my flight mode, go into my running speed multiplier, turn that to 14, the fastest, turn it on, and then I can zoom anywhere I want. And when these trees are floating over in midair, they're easy to spot. Just go up to them, just like you would on the ground, and make it go away. So, but the problem with flight mode is you can't pick up objects. So I try to turn that off. I just keep the running speed going. And in that case, so that's what that does. Lumberjack allows me to pick up my vehicle when I get stuck while I'm filling the mine, or at any point, if I flip over, I can flip it over and drive away. The Colossus Harvester Pack is this trailer right here, the Titan trailer. 5 million liters, or 5 million cubic meters. So 5,000 cubic meters. So 5 million liters of stone or whatever crop you want to put in there. Then the Case IH, no, not you, is 800 horsepower. This thing, it's very difficult for me to get this thing stuck. So this is the one I use to fill the pit. The free landscaping, when you're lowering land, raising land, or doing whatever, it doesn't cost you money. I mean, with the EasyDev, if you don't use that mod or can't use it, don't have it. With EasyDev, you just give yourself $1 billion and you're not going to run out of money. And when you do, you fill them up back up again. So that about covers the mods. So the next thing to do is to actually build the mine. And because I ran too far away, I'm going to go back to where I was by my truck and we'll get to building the mine. So the next thing to do, or first thing to do, other than that, I hit the wrong button, is I go into construction mode and into landscaping painting, and I use a something to mark out my mine. Now I know this road goes at an angle, roughly on the map, roughly this way. So let's make it a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna make the entrance somewhere here. Now I use a reference of the truck to get the size of the road roughly, because you're gonna think you're gonna use semis going this way. That was not intentional. Actually, what I should do is figure out the grid this way. So what I'm looking at right here is the straight line that's formed when I make my line. Because if you, well, this is not too bad. Because sometimes you get a really jaggedy edge, and I don't like that. So what I do is I set to what the grid would be, which means I do something to make it into a complete straight edge. Um, so it kind of looks like this is a straight line. So I think I'm going to put my entrance in at that angle. So if that's going to be my entrance, the semi is probably going to be, I don't know, maybe to somewhere here if he's perpendicular to the road. So let's make it a little bit deeper in there. something like that. And then, so now we've established roughly the entrance to the mining camp. And what I'm probably going to do is make a ramp, maybe one that goes down here, maybe one that goes down this way to a middle level, maybe put some productions on this side, and then I'll make another ramp coming down. I think that's a good idea. So next thing I'm going to do is, that's my dog barking, unfortunately. So we go into landscaping, into sculpting, lowering the land. I'll make it as big as possible and start to lower. Now, one thing you got to consider with lowering the land is the lower you make it, the longer your ramp will be to get down there. Because I found out over my time that you need a ramp at about maximum 12 degrees of slope to be able to get vehicles up there. And at like 13% slope, they start to struggle. So I make a little dip, then level it, open it up a bit to see how, so I can get a perspective on how deep it is. And I usually open it up in the direction of the mine so I don't have to try to level it, because in this one, on this map, the grass texture that is in the painting doesn't match what's on the map. So this pit, don't have a good perspective on it, so I'm going to drive the truck up and see see how deep it is. See if I want to go deeper or if that's going to be good enough for the first level or the mid-tier level. Maybe go a tad deeper. So back in landscaping, lower the land. And lower. I'd say that would be good enough. I don't want to go too much. Like I said, that ramp is going to be ginormous. So that's an opening where I could set a level. And open that back up. It should be good enough. Take a look at it. Yeah, that would be good. I don't hate that. So back into construction, and let's open that up. Zoom out as much as I can. Now this is the part where that's the other determining factor for the size of your mine, other than the depth of it. And that is, how much patience do you have? Because you basically have to lower the land manually like this for the entire size of your mine. There's no other way to do it unless you know how to go into, what is that, whatever map builder program. And I don't want to do that, so. And as you see, when you lower the land, the tree is floating. Well, that's, like I said, an easy dev, that's easy to get rid of. Now, sometimes I've done a mine on here where every tree forms a giant spike underneath it, where I can't lower the land unless I get rid of the tree. So I had to go and remove the tree, and then lower the land again. So let's see. And the size and shape of each tier for you depends on what you want to put in there. And like I said, I didn't put the wash plant, the metals and gem production, but basically your wash plant is the same size as this. So just to get a perspective on the size to compare to your vehicle, it's pretty big. And you want to be able to run dump trucks and semis through there. So you want to make sure you have enough room on your bottom level to put these wash plant, if you want to put one or two, and then have enough room to put down a ton of stone, which I'll show you later. But what I usually do is I put one or two of these on the very bottom, so that my dump trucks don't have to struggle, don't have to drive far, and they go right into here, into the wash plant, which turns into pay dirt. Then I put my refinery production, which turns the pay dirt into gold, silver, and all the other stuff. I put that on my mid level, and then on my third level, which is the ground level, I put the jeweler, which takes the gold, silver, and gems and turns it into whatever it turns it into. And you're gonna need a bunch of semis because everything requires water or diesel. Wash plant requires water. Refinery takes, I think, diesel and water. And I don't think the jeweler takes anything except the product. But still, so you got sizable amount of buildings you want to put in. Now I haven't added other buildings that I want to put in as I build the mine, but I'll add them in for in later videos to so you guys can see what it's actually going to look like. And I also got to add one other thing that on this map, unfortunately, unless I add more trees mod, it will not let me put any trees down. So I'm gonna have to later on when I do my decorating, I'm gonna have to make my put in all the different mod. So let's see, go back into sculpting and let me open this up and I will bring it back after that. Mm-hmm. Do I want to do a switchback here? So I've opened it up and I have lowered another area for where I'm gonna have the stone, but I think I'm gonna lower that some more because I want that to be a bit deeper. But I don't want to go too far because then the ramp is gonna be too big. So let's see, how is that? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, so anyways, so how to get down there? Well, we got to build a ramp, and a lot of people don't know how to build a ramp, so I am gonna show you. It's not actually that difficult. But one thing you got to keep in mind is, like I said, you need probably about 12 degrees or less to be able to get your vehicles without up to the top without taking forever. And so the main thing with doing that, with doing a slope, is you want to have a target area where you're going to have the bottom of your ramp. And keep in mind the 10-degree slope, the deeper your mine, the longer your ramp is going to be. So when you do set your slope, your target, and start making the ramp, it will actually tell you what the slope degree is. So I'm going to set a target, say down here. And I'm going to come up here and start lowering the 17 degrees. Wow. I guess this mine is a bit bigger than, deeper than I expected. So you see, it's not long enough. So I need to open this up more. Ah, wrong one. Damn it. We're going to open it up. You know, and I mean, it works pretty fast, but just the size of the area you want to lower makes you kind of limit how you're going to make your mine. So let's try this again. We'll go with this. Oh, I gotta keep in mind, soon if you make a ramp and you want to start in that same place again, you're gonna have to level that area because it already created a slope. So, damn it, I did it again. Why? Oy vey. All right, let's find another spot. And level to about where your ramp started. So that started. All right, now go back into slopes. And so over here was 17 degrees, so I'm gonna go all the way down here. Hopefully that'll make it better. Target set, and let's slope at 11 degrees. All right, I can live with that. I mean, it's a long ramp, but when you want to go slow, now you cannot set your target above. I mean, you can set it above and start from the bottom going up, but it will not give you your degree slope. So if you want to see what slope degree it is, you have to start at the top and work your way down. And you can also start again and expand your ramp. Make it a bit wider. It will follow that slope. So now that I have my first part set, I need to open this up some more. And I want to be careful about and not disturb the ramp so that I don't have to redo it again. Keep in mind when you do your open it up like right here, you have to allow for your semis to have room to turn around. And it's starting to get difficult to see, so I'm gonna do paint, dirt, and I'm gonna paint the ramp up. Because I want to be able to see what the ground looks like and see where I need to soften because it doesn't leave a great edge. And while I'm at it, I might as well clean this area up because a mine doesn't have grass in it. Grass can't grow on that kind of stuff. You can get it on the slopes, but for the most part, you're gonna have just dirt. So it makes for a dark landscape, but that's mining. All right, so we've got our first level set. So now here's where you got to make your decision on what you're gonna put on into your mine, building wise, and where you're gonna place it on the size of the building relative to where you want the ramp to be. Mind you, you're probably going to be using semis. So if you're going to use something, say that big, you might want to keep it somewhere back here maybe. I think I'm going to end up saving the game, exiting, and putting a couple more mods in. Because there's some mods that I'm going to put in, and I'll make a video with that one in there. Um, anyways, just keep in mind the size of your building that you're trying to put in for the size of your second level. You can always alter it later on, reposition it, repaint it, do whatever you want. So what I'm gonna do to keep this going is damn it, I am gonna open up that bottom, and it's gonna take a while because I'm gonna make a fairly big mine. Now I'm not going to open it up all the way to its full final size because I don't know what size how big that's going to be. Because remember, also the bigger you make it, the more stone you're going to have to put in there. Now I've done a multiplayer map in my on the server that I joined, and we bought a server, built a mine, and we put 160 million liters of stone in the bottom of the pit. It took four of us about 2 hours to do it. So, numerous factors to keep in mind for the size of your mine is how much time are you willing to spend filling in the stone? How much time are you willing to spend driving up and down the ramps? And how deep you want to make your mine. Now, I've done a map where I came down from the top level and came to a mid-tier turn point, like a switchback, came back down to the side, lower, to say what this level here would have been here. And so you had a switchback, come back down. I had productions on this side, and then I had another ramp going even lower. So basically, if you want to be technical, I had a four-tier pit mine, and it was a lot of driving. So that's why I make sure I keep my slopes around 10, 11 degrees. Because I want to be able to, I don't want to go up that ramp at 5 miles an hour because it takes forever. So what I think I'm gonna do is keep opening this to what roughly I want to do. I don't even know what size, how big I want to make it, but I do know that the size of the wash plant, and like I said, if you don't know, go to your silos. This is base game. Put down one of these NL1622 2000 $2 million, 2 million liter silo, and that is the size of your wash plant. So now you got to remember you need room for the trucks to turn, go however they need to go, and also need room for the stone. So what I'm probably going to do is open it up to maybe somewhere around here, bring the ramp, kind of curve it around the edge, and I'm going to put the stone somewhere on this side. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what inspiration creates. Like I said, I don't really plan my stuff. No, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Right here. Alright. And on that note, I'll see you guys when the pit is a lot bigger and we'll put in the ramp. So I went ahead and opened up the bottom end of the mine and saved it and came back out and I wanted to bring it back and put in some of the mods that I use. So I like using this 50-foot gooseneck trailer. Sometimes this one, the 30-foot flatbed. I put in my 980 wheel loader. Then we continue down. I like using the American pack. Then let's see. I got a lot of mods, so it's going to take a little bit for me to go through all these and figure out what I want to put in there. I got my case. I mean, I have an idea of what I'm going to put in, but these are not bad. The what is it? The ESC large shed. I like using the extended game info display. Not something that you have to use, but it's up to you. Let's see what else. Trying to think of what I used in my other one. The dumper. I need a dumper pack to be able to use with the wheel loader. Where are you? I'm going to put in the dozer and then this dumper pack. This one has two vehicles, and when you look at it, they're both the same price, but one holds 50,000 liters and one holds 25,000 liters. Same price, twice as much. I'd be dumb to buy the small one. Then on the bottom here, I had actually, let me go on the lizards. I have a wash rack repair shop type here that I want to use. And you can put in excavators. Where are you? Right here, lizard repair rack. The Roadrunner. If you want to, this is a good one to use for tree harvesting. Come on, where's my Roadrunner? Right here. Looking. I like to cheat and use store deliveries. I already have lumberjack, so I don't need any of that. And just for fun, I'm going to put in my TLX 2022. I like using this vehicle workshop, these two and the shelter. And I also put in one, nah, we don't need that. Also, I like using, where is it? Oh, I thought it was down here. This workshop pack isn't bad, but there's another building that I like, and I don't think it's here. I think it's in the M's. Let me go take a look. Come on, where are you? Oh, right here, that one. Modern Barn. I like that building. And that's pretty. Oh, let me get metals and gem production. Where is that? Come on. It's the whole reason of the map of the mine. Metals and gem production. This is what gives you the wash plant, refinery, and all the other stuff. So I think I am ready to begin again. So we're loaded back into the mine. And so for right now, we've got one ramp going down. And then as you see, I've opened up the bottom a bit. I've purposely left the sides kind of jaggedy, so it's not an even edge, but certain parts still need to be leveled out so I can get a better looking pit, if you know what I mean. So this would be about the bottom. So what we got to do now is build the ramp. Actually, let me get rid of these trees. So go into dev mode, flight mode, run fast. Actually, I don't want to go that fast. Let me go to 4. Do we have another one here? No, you're still on ground. All right, so let's go back into construction mode. Let's get rid of this thing. So now back into slope, ramp, switch the cursor. This is pretty tall. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it to like right over here. No, 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 no. Hmm, what should I do? Well, first of all, what am I gonna do here in the middle? So let's set up what I'm gonna build in the middle. So go into productions and then go into, so this is your metals and gem production. Your stone quarry, if you want to do that. I don't. I pick up with the wheel loaders and belts and whatever. This is your wash plant, which takes water and turns stone into pay dirt. Your gem refinery, metals and gem refinery, as you see. Diesel, water, and pay dirt turns it into gems, silver, diamonds, and gold. Then your jeweler takes the gems, gold, and silver and turns it into jewelry, golden cat statues, and silverware. The only thing is in this one, your diamonds don't get used beyond this, so they're ready for selling. So you spawn them into pallets and you load them on a trailer and you sell them. You can't do anything else with the diamonds. And depending on how many people you want to have playing on this, or if it's only you, one wash plant will keep probably 2 refineries going full time if you keep it stocked with water and stones. Because remember, it takes time to produce, to produce the gold and all the other stuff. And I'm not sure what the time is of the jeweler versus the production of the refinery. Then they might be equal or close. But the wash plant is definitely faster than the amount that you're going to use. So I'm going to set up probably 2 of these. Now with these ones, you deliver diesel and pay dirt in through this grate, and all your pallets spawn inside this building. And what I mean by pallets is the gold, diamond, and silver. Your gems spawn out of the spout as bulk. So again, water, diesel, you see the little icons right there. So you're gonna need access to both sides of the building, so you're gonna probably have to drive around. Now, I'm not exactly sure if I want to put them here or if I want to put the stuff on top. I think I'm gonna do it on top. So my thing now is, what am I gonna put down here? Is I am going to, where are you? No, not that one. I'm gonna do this one right around here. Mm, No, let's see, because I'm going to put two of those ramps in there. You need, for a semi, you're going to need room. So we'll put it, say, right there. Then I'm going to go into tools, and there's my repair ramp. I'm going to line it up to the building as best I can. Sometimes it's a pain. Kind of zoom in and try to put it even and close to the edge so that you can have walking room in between. So say, no, wait, you want to put it the other way so that the icon is in the middle. Let me line it back up. I think it's close enough. So then you go in here, you drop it in, flip it. Now your icons will be on the opposite end, so you won't do the two different ramps. That's close enough for me. And we'll put you right there. What does that look like? Oh, that's not too shabby. You might even have driving room in between. I think I like that, definitely. All right, so back in the construction view, painting. Well, no. So this kind of sets my wash rack, and now I want to pick a building to put in there for, say, service vehicles. And I didn't put that the other one, or is it under here? Here it is. Now I like this one, but it has two variants. One has both doors on one side only. This one is a drive-through, which is nice. But I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the single so that I can have, how am I going to do this? Well, first of all, let me turn it around. Let's square it up to you. All right, that looks close enough. Now I think I'm going to put it something like this. It's not too bad. And with that being set, that kind of tells me how big I need to make that level. So in order, I want to make sure I have room. I am going to close this in some more. And let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That's not a bad idea. So I'm going to make two ramps, one going down this side here, kind of wrapping around. It still leaves me open here, but I can also expand to get more stone in there. And then I'm going to put another ramp from this point over to here, down, and maybe open this up a bit, and all of that is going to be stone, and have the wash plant somewhere in between. I don't think that's such a terrible idea. So let's get to work on that. Now, since this is going to be for me, I don't need to worry about another vehicle coming down. So I'm going to put it all the way down to here as my target. And I am going to begin right here. 8%, I like that. And make sure you go close to the mountains so it picks up all of these little ditches that are left behind. And then, like I said, you can make it bigger, wider. I'll tell you, this is probably the best sloping tool that I've ever used, I have to say. I mean, even like City Skylines doesn't have a good sloping tool. So let me paint that ramp in. Now I play on PC, but I use a controller. That's why you kind of see me dancing around because I'm not using a mouse. Um, so that kind of puts a ramp right there. Let me do a little bit more painting here, and I already see a place where it's messed up. Right here where I did this, the other slope. Oh, all right, so here's what I'm gonna have to repair that. Sculpting. I need to re-level the land over here. This whole area right here. Where my target is, because otherwise that's gonna mess up where I'm gonna land. So we'll do that. That will land over here. And we'll go back up and start again. All right, so sorry, when I'm concentrating, I'm quiet. So now we got to soften this, hopefully make it navigable. Yeah, yeah, that big word, drivable for semis. Kind of soften this up a bit, soften the landing area. Then I'm gonna re-level the driving area because I need to make sure that I can do my ramp sideways. I can soften the ground afterward. So now these two ramps are gonna have to meet, which is I think gonna be tricky. All right, so you ready? Let's see where we're gonna end up. Down here. Let's see what the slope's gonna be. 13%. I don't like that. Let's go down here. 9%. Okay, that's doable. Maybe a little bit farther than it should be. All right. So let's go back to softening. And let's soften up this edge here so you can kind of drive off sideways off the ramp. Let's soften up all of this. Let's look at it better. That's a little too big. Soften that up big time. You can't really tell right now, but it's working. How's that looking? Not too shabby. All right, so we have a successful meeting of the two ramps. Let's do a little bit of painting. And let's paint all of this in. I'm gonna first paint everything brown, even the rock, the edges, ledges. And I may redo the other one since I put this ramp here and I've got a lot of open space here. I might put in some stone crushers. They take I think they take water. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I might put in some universal stone crushers. Or no, I know what I'm gonna put up here. Where is it? My favorite semi building. Where are you? Where is it? Here it is. This guy. Though I could put him right here. So I could put it somewhere around here, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Or, no. Hmm. That's kind of tough one right here. Because I feel like if I put it here, they're going to have a hard time with the semis to turn around. Because it would be nice for the semi to be able to come down a ramp and come around this way. But they're also going to have to come around between the buildings, come back over here, and either go down a ramp that way or go down this ramp. They can go behind this building, but that's kind of a tight turn. So maybe I can put something here. Or do I pull this and put this one as, hold on, let me, well, that one can house a semi. So if I were to put this one, yeah, let's do that. Come on. Oh, I didn't buy the land? Yeah, that's mine. Why is it not letting me get rid of it? What am I doing? Why can I not delete it? Oh, that's odd. You had to hit it at the foundation. Okay. So go back tools again. Back to this guy. And we'll put the tires on that end. But I'll put you over here. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. We're gonna leave that open, and I might put some decorative stuff over there. I might put in some mods and put some decorative stuff as the video goes on, or as the build goes on. So, well, with that being done, somewhat, mine is starting to take shape. And what I'm gonna do now is I still need to kind of clean up this mountain over here. There's that. Um, like I said, I'm gonna do some decorative stuff, but I'm gonna do some painting. Okay, that. Then I gotta paint all of this. See, with all the grass and bushes, I didn't even see there was a lump there. My map has nipples. Oh, too funny. I got multiple. It is not a tumor. Like I said, this the bigger your mind is, the more tedious this becomes of all the painting you're gonna be doing. And I kind of make everything one color and then go from there. Um, because these are not going to be green. But I don't have to paint those. Okay, so like I said, see, it makes for a bleak, dark, desolate landscape, but it's gonna get better. Trust me. All these hillsides are gonna get painted up. I think that's pretty well good. Let me see, what can I do about that hump here? See if I can do a little better land raising. Raise it up a bit. How much more? My dogs, they bark at everything. They hear a fly on the other end of on the other side of the world, and they bark at it. That's what I get with Chihuahuas. Kind of soften that up, and I think I'm gonna do a bit of painting. And they got granite and rock, so let's do some rock painting. So I'm gonna go up here, make my icon bigger, and then start painting the side. Um, go keep going with this. Wrap it around. And you know what? With this, you don't have to be perfect. If you leave a little patch of green or a patch of brown on there, it really doesn't matter because it's a mine, So, I mean, it's been there for a long time. So, wind blows dirt in there, it accumulates on the rocks and ledges of where things were done. So, it looks natural that way. And painting and painting and painting. You want to get kind of around the top so it looks like it's all the way at the surface. And you paint some more. The one thing I don't leave out is bushes. I can't stand those things. Well, some of them, for the most part. Like this one actually doesn't look bad. It's on a little ledge. Hey, the mine's been there for a long time. A wheat is gonna grow on there, if you know what I mean. So that's one part. So, and let me finish this smaller icon, and we're gonna connect the road to it, and ladies and gentlemen, it's starting to look like a mine, right? From what looked like just a bleak brown landscape, now all of a sudden you're having a little bit of variety, giving you some elevation changes, different textures. I like it. So now it's time to start thinking about other things. Um, Perhaps I can do something with this open area or do something around here. But right now, let me do this. Let me do a little bit of little bit of decorating. Some stains to kind of give it life, give it a little bit of use. Oh, I think I put a little bit on the upper level. That's all right. Then we're gonna do a little bit of into here. There's one more mod pack I forgot. I'm gonna have to go back in and load it in. Or maybe I can put this back in there in the bottom because I need a, this is gonna be for semis. And then I'm gonna put some buildings in here for, let me do that right now, under tools. Same building, but I'm gonna put it one here, I think. Well, it depends on what I want to put in here, because if I'm going to be playing it on my own, I'm going to put a wheel loader, a dump truck, maybe two, an excavator. No, I might put two buildings down. Let's see. Let's see. Let me think. If I put it here, how will this one work out? Did I do it? No, not far enough. Oh yeah. So, this ain't the pull-through one, is it? No. So we need to go a bit farther, but I can, I think. I think this one was about the middle of that. So I think if I were to put you about here, but away from the ramp, say about there, shit, excuse my language, I can put this one here where they're close to each other, kind of forming an L. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'll try that again. Except I won't go as far. I like this better. I got a great idea. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning up on this to make it more presentable. Do a little bit of leveling, square it up. And then let's bring that. Then let's soften this. That's not too terrible. And then I'm gonna put in right here a little grass area because I have got to go jump out and put in a mod, and I'm gonna put in something else, a decoration pack. Yeah, I like that idea. Let me make this in real quick, and we'll make this like a little break area. I think that's a great idea. I'm hoping that it's cross play. I'll get I'll get the server owner in here. Come check it out. So let me save it and let me exit, and I will be back. So I'm back here, and I'm adding in additional decoration pack. I got to go down to the peas and go to the picnic. Where is it? But along the way, I'm gonna get this, the modern shed pack. That's the one I wanted, the building. Well, you know what? Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna add it in just to have it for the bottom. I might get rid of that building, those two buildings on the bottom. But I need where is it? Right here, the picnic. All right. Now I'm ready for the map. How about we take a ride down into the mine for now? Let's go first person. Got to fix that little bump dip. So far, the drive's not looking bad. I need to get rid of that. Somebody's going to plow into it, go flying across the building, the pit. Not too shabby. I think I need a bit of decoration. And I think there was another decoration pack I should have got, but you know what? Before I go off the edge, let me go here. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Wow, it's almost too wide for this. Yeah, I got plenty of room to get in, plenty of room to get out. Because problem with those is you got to go in straight, and if you're not straight, you're gonna get jammed or you fall into the pit in a space between. So we're gonna go down to the pit. Road's not bad. Landing's nice and smooth. All right. So, ooh, we got a bump there. Let me get rid of that. We don't want that. We don't need a hump. So now I'm in here. Let me go into the decorations, into others, and let's put down some cool decorations. That we'll do later. Oh, there's all kinds of crap I could put all over this mine. Hell yeah. All right, so we want to put down a grill. I didn't add in the more trees mod. More trees has been added in. And let's go into construction. No. Decoration. No. Landscaping. Trees. And let's put in a nice big oak right here. Or elm. Yeah, oak. Do I have an elm in here? American elm? No. I never put these trees ever. But I would prefer an elm over an oak. But that's fine by me. So you're going to have a nice tree right there. Then we're going to go into decorations. We're going to put down... What are we going to put down? Well, I can put this as a grilling area. Or I can do something else. I'll show you in a minute. We got a little snack stand. An ice cream cart? Hell yeah, you know we're putting that in. Let's see, some picnic tables. That's not bad. Put a round one on this side. Then, see, I can have one of these grills. I can't zoom in anymore because I don't have ultra zoom or whatever it's called, that mod. Ice cream cart. Okay, I thought it was the same thing also. So I can put this as the place of for cooking the food, or I can put this down. Oh, I don't have that one. I had another mod in my regular folder that has a table, and what I did was I put, where is it? I put this grill down. I put a table right next to it on either side, and I put a like one of these tent things over the top of it, similar to this. But so I think I'm gonna put this one down. Where's a good spot? Say right here. I'd say yeah. So we're gonna go with that. Then we got some landscaping, a little bit of painting. So we're gonna paint this area kind of brown. Table area, that needs to be brown. This needs to be over here. Area around the table needs to be brown. And then also we need a walking path. This is going to be fun. A walking path to get to all this. Um, Sorry, I'm concentrating or thinking, and I don't want to hurt myself. Put some bushes out here to kind of give it a little bit of life. Well, okay, there you go. What? Not up the tree. Right there. And oh well, I can't put that one down. That's all right. Put a little bit down here. And all of a sudden, it's got a little bit of life. So when you walk in here, a nice little break area. You come up here, grill your food, go sit down. Nice little touch. I like it. And then we're going to do a little bit more painting over here. Matter of fact, I need to get all this done anyways. All right. Over here. Over here. All right. So that's that area. So now we get to the part. Well, not yet. Nah, I'm going to keep you guys waiting a little bit more. So we're going to do a little bit of painting. Make that a little bit bigger. And let's give this place a little bit of life. But yeah, like I said, you want to go over the edge to kind of give it a look from both sides. So you see it, so you see that it's a stone pit when you're driving and you from down the pit or looking at it from the side. I want to be a little bit careful. I don't want to mess up our little rest area. Ramp's looking decent. Now I got stone on the outside. Joy. And like I said, the problem is on this map, the textures for the grass do not match the texture that is on the map. And with that, I'm going to paint this green because it's ugly white. Well, stone. But this is the grass, that's the in-game grass. And you see how that sticks out. So, try not to make mistakes on this one. But the map is, mine is taking shape. Let's take a look around at it. So this is where we're going to have our stone in this area. We've got some maintenance bays for the trucks, which I'll be putting in shortly. Got the semi maintenance bay. I might put in another small building over here. Maybe a little three-door garage like this. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. To kind of give it something different, so it's not a big wide open area like that. I like that. That's pretty good. Let's do a little bit of painting. Get rid of this green grass here. And let's finish painting the stone along the ramp. Yeah. It is definitely taking shape. All right. So well, that would be the pit itself. Then we come up here. So actually, no, not the pit itself. We're not done. I've got to put down a wash plant. And like I said, one of these wash plants will keep, it'll keep two to three refineries going. So I think with just putting in one, I think it'll be fine. And the other thing that you should know is that water is not delivered to the inside. Water is not delivered here. It is delivered right here. Took me a little while to figure that out. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of slow sometimes. Well, on that note, I will come up here. So we got the wash plant. Should have made this bigger. I might still expand it and put in some productions over here. I think that's a better idea. I'll repaint it again. Open this up and put in some refineries. Instead of having them all at the top. Let's see. That doesn't look too bad. No. All right, next is productions, and we gotta put in, say, 2 of these. Now these guys need to have 1 delivery to the grate for pay dirt and water, pay dirt, water, and diesel, and the output is out of these doors spawned pallets of silver, as you see, silver, gems, gold, and diamonds. Diamonds get directly sold. You can't process them any further. And then the silver, as I said, described in the mod, goes to the jeweler. I forgot that I talked about it. Let's see. So how do I want to put this? It's not a bad idea. Maybe something like this. 1 here, and I'm gonna put 1 back this way, so you still have enough room for semis. You're still close enough together to be able to use a forklift or auto load. Now, the other mod that's so far, I think everything except Lumberjack and Easy Dev is crossplay. And I forgot what I was gonna say completely. Ah, that's irritating. I thought about something I wanted to say, but now I can't remember it. Um, I don't know. It'll come to me later. Oh, the TLX 20, the 2020 truck, which is crossplay, has a auto load box that has an unreal capacity of 82,000 liters, and it will load the silver and gold. It will not load diamonds or gems. Gems are from dispensed from the silo, but it will not take the gold or the diamonds. So for now, I think I'll leave this that way, 2 of those, and then I'm gonna come up here and start working on this. And up here, I'm gonna put the other production, the jewelers, but I think I'm gonna put them over here. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it. Let's see. I'm not really going for a gritty look. So maybe something, because the spawn point, as you see, is the yellow hash marks, and then the delivery is on the side here. Do I want to make a road going around, or do I just want to back into that spot? But I'll put 1 here and say 1 here. Okay, and then I will grab a road. Let's do some gravel. We'll go to here. Paint gravel all the way as much as I can. It won't let me. No. Nope, I can't get any better than that, so let me connect the other building. Anyways, so I put that there, and then now let's go put in the sheds. I haven't seen this one. Got two doors on the side, a big door on that side. Not too shabby. But I'm gonna use mine, the one I wanted to use. And we'll make it like this right here. And we will put gravel from the doors. I hate maps where I can't change the grass texture because it makes me nervous that I gotta be really careful not to mess it up so I don't have to paint the entire area around my farm so it doesn't look like well, an implant, a toupee per se. No, we're not doing any of that. Keep that as one big slab. Right going. And I'm gonna also open it up this way. And I'm gonna open it up this way. And I'm gonna redo the entire thing in gravel. I think that's a better idea. Yeah, a bit of dirt on the edges isn't bad. Okay, that's not bad. And then we're gonna put in some touches of gravel that the trucks take with them up and down or down the mine. And a little bit of dirt on the gravel that is brought up from the trucks when they exit the mine. All right. That's not too shabby. And I think I'm going to pause for now because we are starting to look like a mine. I mean, look at that. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now this, for me, I would consider this maybe one, two people, maybe three could play on this because I am going to run the stone from probably somewhere. Let me see. What's a good spot I'm going to mark it? No, not with that. With this. So where do we come down on the ramp? So we come down on the ramp there. So I'm thinking somewhere around here maybe. I start with, no, not here. Not, don't look at the mouse, but I'm thinking somewhere around here. Maybe to somewhere here. And all the way to here. There's going to be a lot of stone. Yeah, I like that idea. That's not too shabby. So, anyways, for now I'm going to pause it. I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to come back and finish it. So I am back to building this and I'm going to do a bit of decorating. Just throw stuff around. So as you see, I put a bunch of lights in. We'll see what that looks like at night. I still got some more of these floodlights to put in along on the ramps. I just like the way that looks at night. Done it on a couple of them and it looks really good. Because I don't flood the area with those big floodlights because I'm just not a fan of that. If you're gonna make it look like daytime, what's the point of even having night? So that's one, or that two, I should say, I guess. And at the end of the video, I'll do a flyby and we'll see what the whole map looks like. Cool. And I don't like these lights. I'd rather have these ones. They're more directional. I don't even know if that one's gonna need one. But I do think that I should have put these ones. Oh well. Maybe I'll. Maybe. We'll see. What else? Oh, one more thing I forgot to add in. I got one more mod I gotta add. And that is a fuel storage. Fuel and water storage. And that would be a good thing to put down where? Because these guys need water and diesel. So maybe keep it on this level. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it over here towards the bottom of the ramp. Got to make sure that the semis have enough room to get in here. Let me hop out and get this done and bring that mod in. So the mod I'm bringing in is this liquid storage, and I think it holds like 3 or 4 million liters of liquid. So I am back in with this liquid storage, and like I said, this thing holds, well, 2 million liters. And if you put two of them together, next close enough to each other, and not when I mean close enough, like that one was here in the middle of this thing, and you put one out here, they share their capacity. So they'll both say 4 million liters. So the question now is where do I put this? Where would it be good, accessible for semis? Definitely not there. Here, that's a high traffic area. Can't put it here. Like I was thinking maybe here. You know what? Maybe that. Maybe. Maybe. Because everything that requires liquids is down here and the wash plant. So yeah, I think I'll put it over here. Maybe a little bit farther away so it doesn't. Ugh. You mess up my lights. No. Oh, you lucky. Why I oughta. All right. Well, so we got buildings done, this done. So now with having store deliveries activated, I can now pick my store delivery, go get my Case IH Magnum, that bad boy up to 800. And I don't want all dualies. There we go. That'll do. And yeah, I like it. Let's do that. Let me hop into that. Fire. I gotta change my settings. I can't stand that auto start. So I pull up out of here. Let me fix those nipples. One, two, three. All right. So next thing to do is to spawn a Titan trailer. So you get this guy to 5 million liters, and you buy him, and then you back up to him. Again, pull forward once more. And let's buy another one. And then you back that one up. You connect them. And then in the upper left corner, you select the trailer, open Easy Dev, go to this icon here, and you can fill it with whatever you want. 5 million liters. Bam. Switch trailer. Do it again. Bam. 10 million liters. And because these trailers don't have a weight registered to them, it's like you're not pulling anything at all. Well, maybe not like anything at all, but very little weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to line up somewhere around here and set my cruise control down to 8 miles an hour. Unload trailer. No, why is my menu not coming up? Why is it off? Right. Unload one trailer, unload the second trailer, set cruise control, and I'll see you guys when this is pretty much full. I'll speed up the video and see how long it took me and how much was put in. Remember the part where I said the size of your mind depends on the amount of patience you have? Yeah. We've put 4 million liters down and haven't even made it one time around. And this is going to be probably one more level on top of this. So whatever we put down as the base level, we'll have one more time to put that on top of what we put down here. And so on that note, that would be 60 million liters of stone. And that is how you fill the mine. Now I'm going to get rid of all of these vehicles. I'll save it first. All of my vehicles. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And that. So now it's time to fill the mine. Well, with equipment, that is. So we're going to set store delivery here. And let's get ourselves some big boys. And I see I'm gonna have to give myself a bunch of money. And now I'm rich. So we're gonna get a wheel loader. Back that up. We're gonna go back in. Okay, not that way. Then we gotta go to wheel loader tools and get this one. 12,000 liter. 12,500 liter bucket. You're right up to it. Oh, you know what? I forgot the weight. There's a weight that you can put onto the back of this thing to make it a lot easier to drive. But it's a fun time. So now I'm going to set another delivery right there. And we're going to get ourselves, I don't know if it's here. Yeah. So again, they're both the same price, 180, 180, 180. This one holds 25,000 liters. This one holds 50. Why would you buy this thing? I mean, looks like a plastic Tonka truck. Honestly, this one's not much better. And now we get this. Now this doesn't have an auto level, so you got to level it by hand. Now, if you pick up, this thing should start tipping. You see? So, trick is slam the bucket down, stop bouncing, lift it up a little bit, and keep the bucket low. Pull up to the vehicle, and then lift up. Oh, come on, come on, come on. All right, dumped it. Sometimes when you bounce, I got to put those weights in, but if you put the weight on the back of the wheel loader, you stop that bouncing and you stop dumping, because when you start bouncing like that while you're dumping into the truck, you bounce backwards and you dump on the ground. So now that I have finished building the mine, I'm going to do another quick recap and remind you of what this looked like. That's what it looked like. Just plain flat ground, trees, and nothing else. And then I turned it into, well, let's see what I turned it into. We'll do a quick drive up, and then we'll go drive through the mine, and then we'll fly over it. Oh, hello. This thing is fast. 150. And slam on the brakes, Formula One style. Didn't make it. All right, so as you saw the shop here on the right, on the left, that's for the semis. And then here we enter the mine area. And oh, I didn't turn off my flight mode, so I'm still flying. But here's where we have our jewelers, our inputs, output, the storage for trailers, trucks, which I haven't put in yet. But check this thing out. I love this TL 2022. Just mean. Alright, let's head down into the mine. Oh, I can't drive this way. Alright. So we have seen all the buildings, put in the fuel storage, brought in a trailer, well used, or a tanker. We got a wheel loader getting repaired. Ah, they're dirty. Front end loader getting checked out. I didn't put anything in here, but you got plenty of space. Where's my truck? No. Now we take a ride down into the bottom of the pit. Oh, as the production for the refineries. And we got a truck here. It is too clean. Let me get you dirty. That's better. If you're clean in the mine, you ain't working. Except mine. I don't have to. So then now we take a ride down to the bottom here. And as you saw, 60 million liters of stone. Got all these beautiful excavators loading up the wheel truck, dump truck. Got another one here dumping stone in there, and a semi picking up pay dirt to take up to the top for production. And then we go up this other ramp that I made. I haven't gone up this one yet. Not bad. So, yeah, I turned that flat ground into this. And for fun of it, I'm gonna park up to the top, do a quick flyover, and then I'm gonna change it to nighttime, see what it looks like in the dark. Oh, I gotta fix that. All right, so let's do a quick flyover of what this looks like. So that's our entrance. Production's up here for a final point for jewelry and all that. And then we go down into the mine where we have a repair rack, warehouses, other productions with vehicles around. Oh, I didn't delete that tree. Oh, nuts. And then down here, we have some garages for the vehicles. We got two loaders working on one truck, another truck dumping. Saw that already. And then a little break area. Sitting in here, you couldn't tell you were in a mine. And so let's head up to the top and let's see what this looks like at night. So, but overall, I think it's pretty decent. Um, I've done bigger pits that were a really pain in the butt. Like I said, when I did one for our server, it was 140 or 160 liters, and I think it took us 3 hours for two or three of us. Yeah, we had couple people working on it. But honestly, if you're able to somehow give yourself a ton of money, you just find the biggest trailer you have, fill it up with stone, and dump it until you have enough to start loading. I don't know if you can do that on console or not, but Easy Dev and all the other mods make this very easy. So we're coming up to the late afternoon. Shadows are getting long. And here in a little bit, the lights are going to turn on. Where's the sun at? Yeah, set. Nice. All right, lights are coming on. Let's slow it down. So nice little road lit up. I could have put some lights over here by this fuel truck, but we're lit up over here. Yeah, not a lot of light inside under the shed. Plenty outside of it. The production's got plenty of light. And the ramp going down, I like those lights, but I wish I would have used those little ones. That's all right. And then, yeah, I think they got decent amount of light to work on. Once we get deeper into the mine, we'll put some more lights up. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this build, and let me know what you guys think.